Good evening, everybody. Tots and Moms is here with another live session. Today, we are talking about organic clothing for kids. At our brand store, Tots and Moms, we generally talk a lot about organic foods, and we know that lot of parents, the whole community has parents who have this love towards organic, sustainability thinking, and also love towards having something that can be reused, recycled for a longer time. And definitely this is a topic which is close to my heart, and we are bringing in brands who align with our brand ethos. And one such is this lovely brand by Dhiju and Nandini called as Pure Cloth Co. So I'm going to add them right now, and the whole session will be about organic clothing, necessity. Why is it expensive? This is one question I'm going to ask them, because a lot of you people also ask me, why is organic food expensive?
Hey Kavitha, hello.
So welcome, hi, big hi to both of you and hugs. I have met them in multiple events, and every time I meet them, the joy, the smile, the positive vibe that they pass on is amazing. And today to have you on the show is lots of happiness for me. So welcome aboard. Over to you. Please introduce yourself, and the first thing you'll have to tell us, why did you?
Okay. I'm Nandini and
I'm Dhiju.
so people want to hear, right, why we started. Obviously, we are mothers. So everyone who started a brand has a personal story, right? So I think maybe when we discuss over the questions, you'll definitely hear what made us trigger start not just a kids brand, but something that sells sustainability and grow with me collections. We'll talk when you ask. I'm sure you'll ask questions, so there we will share our stories. Yeah.
Okay, so please tell us about Pure Cloth. What is the initiative that you are trying to take forward? See, every brand that I see, especially started by mothers, is solving some problem. So what is that problem that you thought was big deal, and how are you solving it?
What we realized over the parenting, when we did our own parenting and everything, is it, though we put a lot of effort to be to search for sustainable options and everything, one biggest challenge in the kids clothing was sustainable consumption, like how we consume clothes, okay, for kids, especially in kids wardrobe, because they change sizes, they grow very expensive. We as parents have to keep on replacing their outfits and then discard a lot of outfits which are barely used. So when you think in a bigger picture, for parents too, it is more time, more money, and for planet, it's lot of waste.
Correct.
So that is where the whole idea started. So how can we match or like marry sustainability with growth? Growth, I mean the growth of the kids, and that's what Pure Cloth is all about.
Exactly.
I think Kavitha has two kids, right? So you might know how much, like,
Yes,
how
I
is
do.
their growth, like the continuous growth of these kids create a lot of. You have to keep on buying products, and you have to add it to your wardrobe. And it must be you are using for just for 6 months, right? So you after that you just that discard those products, or I mean, like you must be hand down to someone else. Yeah. So that is the trigger for us to start this brand. Like how we can.
Amazing, amazing. Well explained. That's what I say when I put a story about this organic clothing. I said, why is organic food for good food for children? Food good for children. I have spoken about it. And why is organic clothing necessary? Because we see our children grow multifolds, especially in those in that newborn age, and post that toddlerhood, and then that preschool age. I mean, one set of clothes will not survive for longer, and we are in an era where we do not like repeating things. One is for face value, one is for the status value, and many other things. And towards the end, we just recently did a live session in our Kannada account, that is on Urban Kannada. We were talking about sustainability, and when we say that let's get selfish, let us think about Mother Earth next, but let us think about us, because it becomes difficult for few of them to connect to Mother Earth, nature, resources. Those may they may find it too difficult to understand such words. So let us get selfish, and from selfish point of view, let us drive this discussion, is what I'm telling, because this is how we will be able to connect to such parents who are finding it difficult to understand why is organic clothing all about. So when I say let us get selfish, what I say is, how can an individual, how can a parent benefit from buying organic clothing, and what are the value additions with it? So my first question is, why is important to choose right clothing
Yes,
for our kids?
as a parent, I think it is very important to choose right clothing for our kids. I just want to share with you something. Like, even I have two kids. So when my daughter is 13 years, okay, I'm a teenager's mom. So
Okay.
so when she was small, right, I love dressing her up. That is one of the reason I started this brand. Okay, so one time I just tried to wear it for the long gown for her birthday. You know, after 30 minutes, she just started crying. You just take off this gown. I don't want to wear. Then I realized she was not comfortable with that gown to play around with her friends, because all kids were playing around, right?
Yeah, and I know Nadia, she's not a child who will sit in one place. I mean, she's a child who can even climb walls, okay? So I know her very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is mine.
So children have their own sense of comfort. So that is the first thing when it comes to children's clothing, right? You have to think about think about comfortable clothing for them. And secondly, kids are more active than adults, right? That's why their bodies tend to create a lot of heat and sweat. So that's the reason we have to choose breathable clothing for kids. So when it's if we are telling breathable, means that a lot of airflow should be there. And when it's if you ask like what is this breathable clothing, if you take this natural fibers like cotton, linen, bamboo, all those items are like that will have lot of
My next question was, what all fabrics come under organic
no,
clothing? You
that's
have done
again
that.
I will
So
tell
maybe
you,
you can
like
reiterate.
because like
Okay.
these that will give a lot of airflow, and they will be more comfortable than comfortable to like play around and everything, right? So but that's what exactly what we do at purecloth.co. Like, we specialize creating clothes for kids and infants, and that understanding their unique needs. But I think today's topic is like organic clothing for kids. So must be people were thinking that why we have to go with organic clothing. I know Kavitha is doing is a very well at the brand that's more, I think, into organic food and chemical free food. So I just want to hear from you, what is that chemical free or organic food, what you are doing?
Okay. So in the same sessions, I had put in a story telling that we are doing this session. I had mentioned that we are more into organic sustainability, understanding what nature is doing to us and what we can give back to nature, and with nature, how we can live cordially. And these are the ways. One is of food that we have to be very careful about. Organic food, when we talk, the whole raw materials, be it packaging, be it the ingredients that goes in the food, everything needs to be sustainable, and especially the organic products which are not made or produced by using chemicals. And any chemical that can leach into a body, either by form of cloth or in the form of food, is dangerous for our children. It beats on their immunity, their health issues. Again, everything when it is linked with immunity, we know it's not going to give them a longer, healthier life. And that is why this whole brand and the concept of having Tots and Moms started. So what we take inside matters a lot for our health and for our children's health. And We see a lot of brands at that time. This is a 9-year-old brand, and at that time, I was not. I mean, it was very difficult to sell something organic because anything normal is if it is 10 rupees, anything organic would be 50 rupees, and people were not accepting it. I am sure you are also having the challenge of cost issues, but gradually when we educate them the importance of having organic food for you, your children, why is it necessary, especially start it at an early age. The whole decade, like 1 decade has gone by taking being uninformed. uh, the whole last decade was so vulnerable with the Western influence that everything that we had naturally has gone. In terms of clothing, I understand how important it is to put on breathable clothes for our children. I see a lot of I mean, now my daughter is 9 year old. I don't know how this was into my head, but I could sense every time I touched any fabric, the seam. The first thing I would see is the seam. It should have cotton. I would not put on anything more lustrous. I would say gimme cloth which does not have those teeny mini things, and also most of it would be fabric which is made of cotton. And why not cotton be beautiful? Why not cotton be made appealing was the discussion I used to have with my friends. But there were very few limited brands then, but now I see a lot of brands, especially one like you. So kudos to the idea and the designs that you have
Thank you.
come up.
So just to add to your point, you told that it's very important what we wear and what we eat in it. So like how your food also is grown in the soil. Okay. So similarly, even for us, raw material is fabric. The fabric is also grown in the soil. So the concept is the same. Whether you're growing organic food or an organic crop, that is the organic cotton, the concept is the same. We are using less chemicals, less fertilizers, and then it's safe for our own people and our planet. You got it right. So it only matters because people have that myth. Oh, organic food I'm consuming. Maybe that's why it's good for me and everything. It's the same concept. Maybe you're just wearing, because for infants, no, clothes act as a second skin, and the skin is thinner than what we adults have, so they're prone to these allergies and everything. So that, in that sense, in a medical term, what I'm telling, organic cotton is safer than the normal cotton that is grown using pesticides and chemicals. But overall, if you see, whether it's food or cotton, the benefits are not just for people who consume it. The benefit is for the people, the kid, the farmers, and the planet. So it's for the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. These three things must be taken care of for our long future, and definitely it's not something that we can ignore. But in case there is a question coming up, why will I pay extra to buy something organic? Because anything organic is so expensive.
See, anything you want for good, or you want a brand. Example, you pay high for brands, right? Why? Because the quality is high there. Correct, right? Here, even here, the value that we are offering is high. So when we are offering a high value, it comes with a lot of additional things, right? We cannot produce in the same way where others are producing. So obviously the cost is high there.
So it's not just only about organic cotton. Even as a sustainable brand, for us, it's like it is like we follow a eco-friendly practices for the entire life cycle of the garment. It's come to dyeing, finishing. There are so many places people are using chemicals. So chemical is too much involved in this clothing textile sector. So that's the reason. Of course, when it comes to anything natural, of course, it's not, the resource is not easily available. So the cost will go high. But anything man-made, it is easy to make, and the cost, that will be very cheaper. So that is the reason always organic cotton or organic clothing or organic food, everything will be costly.
It's just that
and what I tell my customers,
we are praying for the entire process. In the entire value chain, we are trying to do good for both people and the planet. So that is the value the customer is paying for.
correct. And in an era where people do not think before going to plaza, malls, or big branded resorts, and even the junk food or junk clothing, they would pay thousands, lakhs together. Thousand is now far gone. it's always lacks now that people talk about, be it wedding, be it even a holiday. So when you are able to afford it, why not spend it in the right product? Why think twice when it is food or clothing? And when it is doing so much benefit for your child, I think this is what we are earning for. Maybe have lesser amount of it, but have the right ones. So, how to mindfully shop clothing in regard to sustainability and extendability? That the problem that you were talking about, children outgrow any clothing very quickly. I have seen few of your clothing that could be used in multiple ways. I think that is what is going to be the answer. But let me listen it from.
So, when you talk about mindfulness, especially shopping, there are two things that we need to consider. One is how we choose, and the second is how much we consume. That's what is mindful shopping all about. So, the choice we already discussed that it is better to opt for organic cotton and natural fibers and everything. And when it comes to consumption, that is where I was trying to tell. That's how Pure Cloth started. We saw our own kids growing, and as per our research and our own experience, I would like to share a fact that infant changes 7 sizes and dispose close to 200 outfits in before they even celebrate their second birthday.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, that's based on our own research. So then you can imagine, like in a bigger picture, how much it is waste of resources. Like we are extracting resources from the mother earth and using it only for a short duration before it reaches the landfill. So the whole point here of Pure Cloth is to match the sustainability with the growth concept. So I think Dhiju has an outfit here where we would like to show that how we design for extended use. So it's not just about choosing the material, like what we discussed. It's also about how we design it for an extended use.
So that's how we call the concept called the clothes that grow with your kid. That is our, okay. So I can show you, this is a 6 months romper. Okay. So this is, we call that extendable baby romper. So what we are using some techniques to extend the length and the width of this outfit. So I can show you, there is a strap. These are extendable strap. You can see when the kids grow, you can just change the buttons. So that length will increase. And when it comes to width-wise, the back side, I can show you, sorry. There is a elastic, it's a very soft elastic. You can see it can stretch till, I think this romper, the 6 months romper, you can wear it till 1.5 years. Yes. So that's why the three times longer they can wear it. That's a guarantee we are coming from us.
So it easily adapts to how the child grows, and you can then relate it to the cost per wear.
So
correct. And this actually connects me to a simple practice that we all had when gowns or langa blouse was getting stitched for us. We all had that margin, extra margin, which we could alter and use. So bringing back old practices is the need of the hour. I think this is what
right?
you have practiced.
So
yeah. So I kudos to the that you have put in to bring in that adaptability in new style clothing. It's not an easy task. I am sure you have worked a lot on it. So the next question is fast fashion. We all know how fast fashion is affecting us. And again, when we connect it to organic clothing, what is your take on it? How is it that we can make it easy for people to understand that fast fashion is not the need of the hour? It is not good for your skin. Let's get selfish and understand it. Let us keep bird and the planet aside for a while. Let's get selfish and understand what is fast fashion doing for your children.
So when you again think of fast fashion, there are two things again. How it's like producing in large quantities and then also like consuming it quickly. That is what fast fashion revolves around. Okay. So what these big brands do is to entice customers to buy more and more by producing more and more. And in that, what happens is there is no attention given to quality, no attention given to the raw materials used. The whole idea is to produce more so that consumers buy more.
I want to add on here on the whole planet, if there is a landfill percentage wise which is higher than anything, it is clothing, it is the fast fashion, and also the ocean is getting, I littered is a small word, all those chemicals that are used in is definitely harming our resources.
Yeah,
so please
you're right.
continue.
So
I
just to add,
just
so
wanted to mention.
for every 1 second, one garbage truck of landfill gets of clothes only gets disposed or burned into the landfill. So that's the fact. Today's fact is that's where I was telling you before. I think how it's growing is before we can even do our first wash, the clothes are discarded because there are so many clothes to wear and we buy so much. So that is what fast fashion is all about. And then, so when you think again about a larger impact, again, as I told, the resources are used and it's being wasted. And so, have any of you thought how these fast fashion brands, can even sell at that lower prices? Have anyone given a thought to it here?
Correct.
We can hear their comments also. So, actually, what happens in the reality is they go to these countries where the laws are not strict and everything, be it in terms of safety or in terms of ethical practices and all. They go and produce in those countries, and then there are people working for long hours with low wages and everything. And also in some factories, there will not even be proper treatment facility for water, thereby polluting the nearby oceans and the water bodies and everything. So again, if anyone has not watched the series or the movie called True Cost of Fast Fashion, I would recommend viewers to watch that because you will get some insights or an interesting and shocking truths about what happens in the fast fashion world. So I would recommend all the viewers here to watch something.
Can you tell the name again of the movie? Okay.
It's not there.
Yes,
it's on Netflix?
Yes.
Must be there.
But again, I think we should be
Okay.
thankful that both fashion industry and food industry is moving towards a positive change. And the whole fact that we are in this Insta Live and people are here to hear and understand about organic food, organic clothing, I think the whole mindset is changing. So, and definitely there is a positive trend that's moving towards something better both in the fashion and the food industry.
Well said, Nandini. Thank you. So, how do we empower our children in choosing right? Because they see us for each and every occasion, we buy something new, and they see that we hesitate to repeat. So, these are certain things I observe day in, day out in many of my families. And also, for a shorter period of my life, luckily, I have that awareness now from being a young child who was not given things to starting to work and getting more and more money and then spending it thoughtlessly. Today I am well aware that I have to have minimal things, and things do not add on to happiness. So this is the awareness that I have gotten luckily at this age, and now I am able to rather, I would say, my children look at me and learn. I do not have to teach anything. So children, when we say something, they do not listen from the things said. They understand and practice things when they observe. So I think I am on the track now, but I will need a lot of your feedback and a lot of your suggestions to bring that in seriously. So how do you think that we can empower our children to come on track and be aligned with nature, bring in that happiness to oneself?
So happy to hear that you are teaching your kids about that proper things like that. Is like that. That's what we also feel proud when customers talk about this. We always use this kind of sustainable clothing or sustainable lifestyle. It is like we are thinking we are creating some impact to the people or the world. Right. That's like education always starts from our family. So even if you think about a few decades back, my mother or our mother and my grandparents started using plastic. No one told them that what happens after so many years, right? So these materials, what will happen to the world environment?
That's what I said. They were very vulnerable in that age with the Western influence, and there was very less of an education
Correct.
on
That
the impact
awareness was not there, and the cost was very cheap. So they adapted it so fast. So those today we are facing that problem, right? Even we and our future generation is facing the pollution, the air pollution, water pollution, all kind of problem because of this. One of the reason is plastic, right? So similarly, fast fashion, due to lack of awareness, and current generation is like not thinking what will happen after so many years. Like they will just see, I mean, some offer or discount in the online, and they will just buy. If they don't have, if they don't have the need, also they will buy it and just wear it to one time, post it in Instagram, then over, or wear it for one wedding or one function, then they will not repeat that outfits. So one of the main thing we have to teach our kid is like, you repeat your clothes, okay, reuse the things, like so that education should start.
Don't attach status and
Yes,
tie off
yes.
repeating.
So we should educate from first. We have to educate ourselves, then our kids. So because we have very limited resources, so if we continue to consume this take, make, waste, like waste cycle, that's what the fast fashion we call as take, make, and waste. It's a it's a linear model. Okay, so we there will not have any resources after so many years. So we buy wisely and consume wisely. Okay, consume very less, because we always have to think there is no planet B. So that is the main thing we have to teach our kids. And we are doing a lot of, I think, educational.
So even at Pure Cloth, we try to collaborate. I mean, we actively collaborate with a lot of schools and run some awareness campaigns, and also teach them about mindful shopping. See, because we believe that children are the future consumers, and they are the one who are instrumental to bring this change. So that is where we have to start the awareness from. And also, if you ask like both of our kids, they go to a school where there is no uniform also, but but they only wear raw cotton, which is minimal and comfortable. And even in the school, even the bags they tell us that you have to get either which is made from natural or recycled.
What's the name of the school?
It's called
Okay, let's do it on
but
another
why
session.
I'm saying that,
Yeah.
it's so inspiring to see them at this early age, trying to adapt these habits of wearing, doing a very mindful choice, and then not following the trends and everything. So,
because before buying the clothes, it's like when we are going for shopping, also kids itself, they will check the label.
Yes, that is one thing.
They will check our kids. They will check the label. Is it made of what material? Is that cotton? This is polyester, mama. You don't buy it. Okay, that was that. When we hear, no, it is like we are very proud of our kids. Like, okay, minimum they started checking the label. That is one of the main thing. Actually, we want to tell our audience also, like, check.
Yeah. So that's what you were asking, right? What to
Yeah, the percentage of fabric.
So one of the education is that more than, because kids have mama, this pink color, I want this pink color, I want this. So more than that, first we should educate them to start looking at the label, what fabric is used, what dyes are used, and everything, and then they have to make their choice. Because right, like there's a saying, right? Habits are formed early and it stays forever. Forever. So that's why, like, these habits has to be developed at the early age itself. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to change later. You ask a teenager to change now, it's very difficult,
And I don't, if I have to reiterate the points that I found from the last discussion of the point, one is, don't attach status value to the clothing. Don't attach happiness to it. Don't be a overdoer when you are shopping. Shop mindfully, and shop thoughtfully as well by checking the label, things written on it. I mean, most of the times we will not be able to touch and understand. You can anytime ask for a label. If the label is not found, then don't go ahead with such brands. It is very necessary to mention what is there inside the brand. And also, let us not attach beauty to clothing. If one is beautiful inside out, clothing will just be an added advantage to cover yourself for the climate protection. That's all about clothing. I don't know when we will. I mean, I think looking at people like you and me and the people who have joined us in this live session, I'm sure we all want that world someday very soon, where we do not attach status value to things, and we understand what is for what by having food in a five-star hotel, by junking things inside you, you're not doing any favor to yourself. And also by using multi-layered, junky fabric, you are doing harm to your skin, and this pattern will be followed
Yeah,
by
I
your
want to add
children.
one more thing, Kavitha.
So if that
So a lot of brands nowadays,
please,
are sharing the story behind how this product is made, the behind the scenes and everything. And once a child starts watching more and more of those videos, or even start learning about what's handmade clothes and what is organic cotton and all, no, they stay attached to that cloth, and they ensure that wear it more and more longer. So one way to even ensure educate kids is to start sharing stories and start educating them how this product is made, how it has to be repaired, and also that they get attached.
Exactly. Well said, well said. And also, at last, if you think that is not fitting your children, you can put it on hold, use it for your second child, or you can just pass it on. Or there are so many pre-loved websites where clothing, toys, and many kids-related things are being sold. And it is, I mean, I had a Shumi brand coming into our site, and for a live session, I told them I bought their toy from a pre-loved store, or rather from a mother who had already used it for their child. So I was proud about it. Let us, educate our people. Let us come in terms to understanding that it is okay to use pre-loved stuff. We all have grown using things like that, right?
Yeah.
And we're not doing good. Okay. I think I have asked you all the questions that we have written down, and everybody who participated did it well. Thank you so much for staying with us for this long. And if you think that you relate to this topic, if there is something that you're doing, the video will be saved. Please comment and let us know. We'll be more than happy to tell it to the world. We will also try to come on another section and tell you more about it. And Nandini and Dhiju, any closing lines that you have?
As I told, habits are formed early, so I request all parents to teach them mindful consumerism, mindful choice, and everything, because we have very, very limited resources, and chemicals is present all over us, both in air, all in air, water, soil. So wherever possible, try to stay away from chemicals.
Correct. Thank you so much. And people who are here from my account of Tots and Moms, please do follow Pure Cloth. They have amazing clothing for children. I love their subtle designs and a subtle twist. It would be just a normal dress, and I could find one element there which makes that joy on my face, brings that joy on my face, and I love those things that you're doing. And that is the need of the hour. You don't have to make whole multicolored, bright fabrics even with the pastel colors. What you're doing is amazing. That's what more of them love for their children. And in case there are people from Pure Cloth account, please do check our account. I am the founder of the brand called Tots and Moms. It's an organic food store.
Yes,
Dhiju and Nandini have tasted our cookies. We make
cookies are awesome. Everyone, from my mother-in-law to my husband to my kids, everyone adore your millet cookies.
All should buy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Best product I can do.
Thank you so much for telling that. We also have range of products for babies, kids, and also mothers. Please do check them. And I would love to send you a few products. I will ask my team to get in touch with you to send what you love, actually, which product you can tell them. And thanks again for joining in. Thank you everybody for joining in here. Let's talk very soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Nandini Dhiju, very nice of you. Bye.